guys, welcome back to Model Dream Cars with your host Supra. Today we're going to start our build on the Toyota Supra. So last time we actually showed you what we're going to be using for the build, but we haven't showed you how to make it. So we're going to be going through the instruction booklet and we're going to be teaching you how to understand it. So as you can see, this build is made by Tamiya, but it's all in different languages. So it's quite hard to understand. You just have to find the English language or whatever language you're speaking, and you're good to go. So here it just explains what you should be doing to use the manual. Like, you have to study the instructions, of course. Here it shows you all the tools that you need, which we have here. See here, it has this little block, and you can see in these steps that they have little blocks here. Just explains that it marks the color that you need. Alright, and here are all the paints that you will be using. So you have the tools and the paints right next to each other. So with the steps, it's from 1 to 20. Okay, how to find your pieces that you'll be using for the build is easy. All you need to see is on these pieces, you'll see it says a letter and then a number next to it. So say with a pieces tree like this one, you'll see here it has the letter B, if you can see it there. Alright. And say here it has B as well. It has the number 11. So just find the 11 here. Alright, it's here. Number 11. And just in case you don't think it's the right piece, just look at it and see the picture, see if it's the same one. You can see they are both the rear axle. Alright, and then there you go. So once you've found your part, you need to paint it so it's in the right look for the car. So say here we have that mark that shows the paint, where to paint it, sorry. And up here it has the same sort of thing that the part has the letters and the number. So with this one it has 2 letters and 1 number. So say here it has XF1, alright, that's the type of paint. Up here, if you look, there's XF1, it's a flat black, and you just get your paint, make sure you have the paints, all of them, and then you can just paint that piece. So yeah, what we need to do first is we need to paint the majority in the color that we're going to be using, which is X11.
Say what?
So what we need to do with the paint is paint it the majority color, which is X18. A semi-gloss black, and so we have to paint the majority pieces. So if you see here with the arrow, it's X18, which is all the white parts on the picture. So all this, all here, all right, everything. And with the rear cradle, the same, everything that's white, we have to paint that in X18. And we don't paint the pieces that we glue because otherwise it won't glue properly. So say in pieces like here, alright, in these holes, and then these parts here as well, we don't paint all that because otherwise it won't glue. So yeah, let's get started. So I'm going to be using this paintbrush, which is a bit of a smaller one. The reason why is because, say with parts like here, if you use paintbrushes that are too big, like say for example this one, if you use one that's too big, it will take away the detail of the piece, because it will transfer so much paint onto the paintbrush that it will take away the detail. So yeah, say with a smaller brush, it won't transfer too much paint, and it will make it as detailed as shown in the cast. Now, if paint is a bit old and you haven't used it for a while, it may be very dry inside. It won't be running like how paint should be. This one isn't old, so it's fine. But if so, put some thinners in. This is thinners, and it should stir it around with the paintbrush, and it should be good enough to use again. If not, then just get new paint. Alright, so let's get painting. So now we're gonna clean the paintbrush because we've used it, as you can see there. Alright, so what we're gonna do is we have our thinners here. We're gonna dip it in the thinners, alright. Put it in there for a bit. Alright, give it a swirl so it gets everywhere. Alright, press it down so it gets into all the brushes. Alright, and then put it onto your rag here. Just wipe it. Alright, you can see it's a lot better, but we have to do it again. Alright, put it in there, just swirl, press down so it gets all the brushes. Alright, then rinse again. Alright, as you can see, it's a bit better. You can still see some black in the brush. Alright, then do it one more time. Swirl, press it down, and then there you go. Alright guys, so we've let those pieces dry, which we painted in X18, which is semi-gloss black. And now there's other pieces on there that we need to paint in a different color, which is flat black, which is XF1. Alright, so guys, just make sure you always mix up your paint, because if it's been sitting for a while, it could get hard and Alright, so if your paints have been sitting for a while, you should use something to stir it up so that it softens up and you can use it properly. So just make sure you do that. So a good tip to use if you're painting, use a box or something. We're just using a box for now because it's most practical. You use this to rest the actual piece tree, and then you can just hold your arm in place by just laying it on the floor or the table, whatever. And this way it's a lot steadier to use and a lot easier. So yeah, make sure you do that. Alright, so here we have X11, which is chrome silver. We're going to be using this to paint these parts of the rear cradle. Here, here, and the back as well. So we've painted these parts of the rear suspension cradle in silver, and here as well on the discs, on these parts. not the actual brake pads, but now we're gonna paint with X1, which is black, this shaft here. So with our brakes, we aren't actually going to paint them the original color that Tamiya wants us to paint them, which is black. No, Tamiya, no, alright? They're going to be red because I said they're going to be red, alright? I'm making them red because, you know, a lot of aftermarket places, or not places, but aftermarket shops or stores, whatever, they have a lot of their race brakes or performance brakes which are red. So in the future, I'd hope to have aftermarket brakes because they're normally a lot better. So that's why I'm going to paint them red. Yeah. Alright guys, so we've painted all parts that we need for step one. We've painted here, the rear cradle, the diff, all the pieces that we need. So as you can see, this one, these ones, all there. We've painted this there. And so once you cut them, once you paint them, you need to cut them and then glue them onto each piece that you need to. And if you can see in step one, all the pieces here, they glue all together that we've painted so far. Alright, so now we need to cut them off the pieces tree and then we can start gluing. So guys, as you saw, I was cutting off pieces. So what you have to do to cut them off, you just, for example, you just get your pieces board, and you can see where the pieces are stuck on. So like for example here, stuck on there. All right. So what you just have to do is you just have to line up your razor blade, all right, and just push down as hard as you can, and that way you should be able to cut it. Once you've done that, you have to check your pieces if there's any excess parts that shouldn't be there. So for example, here you can see, if you can, this part here, that shouldn't be there. That's just excess trim to hold it in place. So you just line up your razor blade, make sure it's as far as you can go towards the edge of the piece that you need. Just press down, you cut it off. Same on this side. Alright, and just try and make it as clean as possible. Here, these excess pieces here shouldn't be there. Alright, so you just flip them over. Make sure the piece is as close to the ground as possible, so you have an area to cut through. Just line it up, cut it. Alright, line it up, cut it. There you go. Okay, so we've cut all our pieces and trimmed them so that they're ready for gluing. So we're going to be using the Tamiya cement, all right. And if you can see on the paper, There's 2 points of gluing for our first 2 pieces that need to be glued. Here, and if you look, those 2 bits there are here, and these 2 pieces that will be sticking into it are there. So the bits where we glue on the parts haven't been painted. That way we can glue properly, because the paint mucks up the glue. Alright guys, so we've finally finished step 1. As you can see here, we've done all of this. Alright, don't think we've cut any corners, we've done all of it, okay? And not we, me, I've done it, okay? Dad didn't do anything, because you know he didn't. Alright, and now for the big reveal of the finished product. Dun, 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 dun. You can see we have the cradle holding everything. Basically, it's the main part of the whole process. It's holding everything in place. We have the lower control arms. They're there. So the cradle, control arms. Alright. Okay, we have the rear axle, which is here now. Okay. And we have the discs, which we painted the brakes in red, just because we want to add that personalized touch that this is mine. So yeah, it's step 1. So the Supra has an independent rear differential or axle. The difference between an independent rear and a live or solid axle is the way it adapts to bumps or differences in the road surface. A solid or live axle, when going over a bump, which is only on one side of the car, or one wheel, will affect the whole axle and its tire grip as it goes over that bump. Because the whole axle moves as one complete unit, this can cause loss of traction and make the whole car shift weight to one side. An independent axle in the same situation will only move the one split axle at a time, so letting the other axle have complete grip on the road and also not affecting the whole car's movement or tilt. An independent rear will give a much smoother ride and more grip in all situations. Alright guys, so we finally finished step 1. It took a while, but that was because it was my first project model car build by myself, with Dad watching me. So I just had to go and refresh through the basics of building a model car, and you guys were there with me. So that's why it took so long, but it will get faster because I will get more used to and more experience with building this model car, and hopefully I'll teach you guys along the way. So I hope you enjoyed that, that first part. Step 2 will be painting the undercarriage. Alright guys, so thank you for watching the video. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment, and hit that bell for video notifications on Tough Garage. Alright, and I'll see you guys next time.